Good evening, everybody. It is the third podcast I've done today on the Rutherford Sports Network, but this is the happiest one. 30 years ago, I was a 19-year-old kid, ending my first year of college, and my club, Liverpool, had lifted the trophy and had won the championship. Well, back then you didn't think it was going to take 30 years to get another one. But it did. 30 years later, we have a championship. Today is a very sweet day. I look back at 30 years ago, and I was a much different person back there. Very naive, very rose-colored glasses wearing kind of guy. Thinking I might actually get into the business of sportscasting back then, not realizing there was this thing called the internet and all of that. So here I am, 30 years later, and I am relaxing, basking in the glory that is Liverpool's Premier League championship. Took a heck of a lot longer than I thought it would. We had a lot of heartbreak along the way. A lot of near misses. Last year, of course, missing by a point. This year, though, we were dominant. Only lost one match, only drew 2 times the entire season. And we won the thing with 7 matches to go. 7 matches to go. It's incredible. It really is to think that how incredible this run has been for Liverpool. There have been some bumps in the road. Getting knocked out of the FA Cup. Losing on the night before the last match for 3 months to Atletico Madrid to get knocked out of the Champions League and not get a chance to defend the championship. And that should never have happened. The match should never have taken place. According to what we know now, is that they knew that there was a danger there, and yet they still held the match. But such is life. We are the champions. It's a great feeling to see that elusive Premier League trophy finally coming to Anfield. And it's one of those things that sort of blows you away, you know. I kind of feel kind of numb right now. It's like joyous but kind of numb because it's like, my goodness, I never expected it. I always wondered, would this be, and I'll be honest with you, when after the match against Everton, I thought, oh, geez, if we choke this away, we'll never live it down. It'll be worse than Atlanta choking the Super Bowl away against New England. But, yep, we finally have 19. And it does feel sweet to finally win it all in the Premier League. And we get to take that trophy to Anfield, get to celebrate it, not the same way we would have liked to have celebrated it had this stupid pandemic not come along, but the world is as it is, not as we'd like it to be. Because if it was as like it to be, we'd have done this 3 months ago. And we would have set a record for clinching it the earliest in a calendar year, but there's always next year to capture number 20 and to go from there. This is a very good squad, folks. When you have a squad that isn't going to make any moves in the summertime and you really think, hey, we don't really need to make moves because as long as we keep everybody healthy, we're pretty much going to do it again next year. But you can't obviously take that for granted. There's a reason for the fact we're not really going to be doing anything in the transfer window this summer is because we got to be careful with money. You know, revenues are going to be down without fans in the stands. Revenues are already down with missing 3 months of matches, like it is all over the place. But it is definitely one of those things that, my God almighty, what a day it's been. What a season it's been. And we finally have our championship. We finally can put to rest, like the Rangers did, New York Rangers did in 1994, when they kept hearing 1940, 1990 is gone. We finally have that elusive Premier League championship. And a lot of things have come and gone. I mean, look at 1990. Saddam Hussein hadn't even invaded Kuwait yet. Much different time back then. George Herbert Walker Bush was president. I had more hair. I had a lot more things. Except weight. I weighed more than I did back then. Not by much, though. I've always been a big guy. Yeah, so this is a great day indeed. And it's one of those things you kind of... I mean, if I were younger, I'd probably be jumping up for joy and all that, but I'm an old guy now, so I can't really do that anymore. And it's just one of those things you just savor. Because... they don't really come all that often. I mean, the Panthers, the heartbreak we had in Super Bowl 50 against the Broncos, we thought that was our year, and it turned out not to be. That very same year, North Carolina Tar Heels men's basketball team had just tied the national championship game, looked to be going to overtime, and then Villanova hits a game-winning shot at the buzzer to clinch the championship. Yeah, heartbreak. How many times over the years has Liverpool come close and been denied? Yeah. Game 7 of the World Series in 1991. Yeah, I remember that. Braves losing to the Twins in arguably one of the greatest World Series of all time, if not the greatest World Series of all time. I know about heartbreak, folks. Sports-wise, it sucks. And tonight we get to celebrate. Winning two Champions Leagues was great during that time, but this is special. This is breaking the streak we've wanted to break for a long, long time. Hearing about Man United, hearing about Chelsea, hearing about Manchester City. They don't matter right now. We matter. There are no guarantees that this is going to be a long-term thing. We just don't know. That's why we play the games. But I think if we can keep Jurgen Klopp, we can keep the core of this group, we can make the right signings when we need to, I think we could make a run for quite a while with this team. And I'm not just talking about Premier League. I'm talking about Champions League. I'm talking about FA Cup and all that. This is the kind of club that if we can keep the nucleus together, we could do some major, major damage to the reputations of some of the elite clubs, not just in England, but in all of Europe. Bring home a lot more trophies. But this one will be one to savor. This is the kind of championship you don't ever forget. And yeah, there are clubs that have not won a championship in a much longer time. The Chicago Cubs was over a century before they finally won it all in 2016. There are clubs like the Carolina Panthers, the Charlotte Hornets, who've never won it in their respective leagues. Plenty of other teams have never won. It's winning a championship's a big deal. No matter what sport you're in, no matter what level of that sport you're in, it's a pretty darn big deal. And, it's always special. And had things turned out differently, I'd be riding in a pickup truck with a Liverpool flag flying from the back, blaring out "You'll Never Walk Alone" all through the streets of my small town. People going, "What the hell is his problem?" But hey, things happen, things change, the best laid plans of men and women don't always come to pass. Maybe that's a good thing in this case, but So tonight we celebrate, despite everything going on in the world and the uncertainties and all of that. I have my Liverpool mask. I will be wearing it proudly at work and outside. So people are going, "Why are you making a political symbol?" No, I'm just rubbing your face. We're the champs, baby. We are the champs. And we have the title now. We're going to prance around Anfield with that trophy. When the time is right, we're going to have the parade with that trophy. And we're going to show all y'all how to party. Well, I'm going to end this right here. I just wanted to come on here and, after some reflection, to come on here and have a little discussion with you about the great events that took place today. So, as I like to say here on the Rutherford Sports Network, by the way, if you just happen to catch this because you saw the topic, check out the other stuff. I think you'll like it. But for everybody here at RSN, good night, good luck, may the good news be yours.